Do not attempt to adjust your screen. Forbes DVD Live is taking over.
I don't know what made him, snap into that world. You know what I'm saying? So.
What does this shit do to you though?
What do you mean?
This industry, what does it do to you? Like, you see how it's possible for a nigga to snap.
Oh yeah, because quote unquote, like, I was checking out Game, shout out to Game and all that. It's like, we raised in communities and we go through so much frustration, and if your family don't have certain types of coverage, you can't go see somebody to help you out. So you got to just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people in our community just grow up just dealing with things when other societies or other ethnic groups, they'll go to a counselor. They'll go to a meeting every week to, at least simmer what's the problem. And when we have problems as young,
we drink it away, smoke it away,
it's
fight,
like,
the niggas just cut their dick off and jump.
The hood, keep handle it, take it on the chest, handle it. That's, I don't know what he was going through, but I hope he get well and get his head right. Basically, I haven't spoken to the brother at least 7-8 years.
Timbo King.
Yes, the original.
Yeah, because I want to jump into that real quick. I know you as Timbo King. I remember you being on. Who's the Man soundtrack?
Oh yeah, that was my first debut.
Yeah, actually. that's where I remember you from. Hello, it's me. I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm a hip hop historian. I remember everything. And your name was Timbo King then.
Yeah.
Now we have Timbaland, the producer. They calling him Timbo King. Do you think it's a coincidence, or do they know who you are and trying to be funny, or because sometimes they say great minds think alike. It's a coincidence. What do you think it is?
Well, I can tell you what it is. It's like, from my perspective, maybe several years ago, because I got 2 DJs.
Okay.
Shout out to King Shiloh. He does the hip hop reggae side of Timbo King, and I have a DJ named DJ Debo Chamberlain out of Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And he also has a lighting company. Because in this music business you got to shake and move. One thing don't rock, you got to go to the other. So at the time, we wasn't getting no shows. So he had started this lighting company, and he had to do the Rockaware party one time with Dame and Jay. He did the lighting. He called me up, yo, Bo, I got inside, you'll come through. So I came through. Shout out to Squash Low, Brickface Clothing, and it was me and him. We went there, and I stepped to Jay. At the time when Rockefeller was at his peak, like maybe like 98, 99, and went to the party, and I was like, yo, Jay, what's good, man? Brooklyn, you know me. And Jay was, on the president. Yeah, I don't know you, but I know of you. So give me your number. So this is before, all these new gadgets. So I kept it funky. I asked him for a piece of paper. He pulled out a paper out, and I wrote my name, Timbo King, my telephone number, 718 Brooklyn all day. And this is before the blueprint came out. Mm-hmm. So this is during probably when he was recording. So probably that same night he went back home or went to the studio, cleaned out his pocket, seen the number, shit, Timbo King, and you got a Timbaland track. This is new. This is me. Hey, let me call him Timbo King. You know what I'm saying? But he put the thought in the middle, because on the copyright tip I could really get at him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They know that, so that's why they put Timbo the King. But when you hear it sounds like you're just saying Timbo King.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do the records. Which is cool for me, because a lot of people who didn't know Timbo King, for as a young generation in that lane of Jay-Z and Timbaland, when I do say I'm the original Timbo King, they be like, oh, you produce, they're just being funny and everything. But I had to break the story down to them, man.
So basically niggas bitch as shit.
Basically, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I come out with an artist and call him, ZJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like, yo, come on.
Now you're gonna have people looking right now like, oh, the nigga Jay-Z got $500 million. He ain't thinking about you. He got this and that. What do you want to say to them?
I mean, Jay-Z does have $500 million. You know what I'm saying? But, when it comes to this art and this craft, I feel Timbo King value is different from price. Okay. See, that's the difference between a lot of people don't understand the difference between value and price.
Okay.
I deal with valuables, you know what I'm saying, morals. That's how I was raised. So, I mean, you know, great MC, great artist, great businessman, Jay-Z. Enough respect, I take my hat off, put it back on. You know, he's a good brother, you know what I'm saying? I just ain't see him because, you know, it's like, I used to run into him all the time. I'm from Bushwick,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, right down the hill. So, he used to be right here at the studio, at the Dr. York studio in Bushwick. I used to see him in Jazzo all the time coming up. So, you know, Jay's a good dude. He's a good dude.
So speaking of him,
But Timbaland is another incident too. I seen Timbaland way before I did the Timbuktu album. I went to his party and I was like, yo, I got this concept. You Timbaland and I'm Timbo King. Let's do this joint called Timbuktu. He was like, he was bobblehead. He was just, and it was like, we was in a party. I know he was drunk. It didn't come across to him, but you know, that's when I came out with my album, From Babylon to Timbuktu. I really wanted to, you know, connect with Timbaland on that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, his frequencies wasn't right that night, so.
never got a chance to.
Nah.
Jay-Z's getting a lot of heat right now for walking around with the universal flag around his neck. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, Jay-Z do have a background of coming from Jazzo, coming from Marcy Projects, you know, growing up then, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge was also in that vicinity. So, you know, growing up with knowledge itself, you know, everybody that was a teenager came across it. So, I mean, for him wearing it now, I guess it's just reputation of how he feel, you know? He feel like he's the God MC, he feel he's on that pedestal, so, you know, he's gonna put that on, he's gonna put that chain on, you know? What's a higher power than God?
When he was on, when you used to see him back in the days, was he with the Ansars or he just was with Jazzo?
When I used to see him, he was with everybody, like meaning on that corner, you know?
Okay.
You know, you had the Peach Fudge guys out there.
That's KMD, MF Doom.
MF Doom.
For people who don't know.
It was a great time, you know what I'm saying? I did my actually first recordings in it, you know, so, you know, I had some history over there.
Because, you know, people don't know that, they don't know MF Doom was a part of KMD.
Shout out to MC Search.
And he's really Zev Love X. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And so we just gave y'all some hip-hop history. That's why I bring people like Timbo up to give y'all hip-hop history, because y'all love the hip-hop game, but y'all don't understand why shit be happening. We got to give y'all the history of stuff. How many albums have you been on?
Man, you know, I've been on a lot of albums. Like, my whole span of the music business been like maybe 8 artist albums, soundtracks, compilation albums, video games. It's a span of maybe 15 to 20 years, just as a feature artist. So when you be in that bracket for so long, when you come out with your debut album, a lot of people forget, like, who are you? Like, you've been in the game so long, like, you only got one debut album as Timbo King, you know, under your bars, under your barcode. It's like, how could you do that? You know, it's like, coming from the cloth that I'm cut from, it's like, I came in an era where, you know, it was the Wu-Tang Bad Boy mixture. Mm-hmm. You know, I was signed to Uptown MCA.
Wow. So,
you know, me and Big, it's like family, you know what I'm saying? So I actually thought that when Big and Puffy started Bad Boy, they wanted somebody like me, because I couldn't sign to Bad Boy at that time because I was under a production deal. So they got Craig Mack. And Craig, I used to think Craig Mack used to try to take my style, like meaning my afro. You know what I'm saying, when I came out with that. So I was like, oh yeah, they funny. But, you know, shout out to Craig, he's a good artist.
So how you go from Uptown MCA to Wu-Tang?
See, a lot of people don't understand, when you're in this music business, there's a lot of ways to come in the door.
Okay.
You either come through a DJ, that's sound, sonically. You could come through management. You could come through attorneys. You could come through publication.
Producer.
You know, I came through production. You know, Wu-Tang at the time, sound was dominating the airwaves. And I happened to be in the neighborhood with one of the Wu-Tang producers. You know, there was the RZA, of course. You had True Master, you had Fourth Disciple, and you had Rakim, the ill figure. So after the deal with Uptown, you know, Andre and P. Diddy was like, yo, Bo, you know, you welcome to whatever you want to do, because I just left a production deal. You know, I was under a production deal. So I felt that, you know, from learning experience, like, wow, all the money go to the producer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, I'm stuck in the days. Like, wow, you can have a deal, but it's not your deal. You see what I'm saying? It's the producer's deal.
Yeah,
You just the product.
Yep.
So you just getting X, Y, Z, whatever you gonna get. But it's not really, no checks is really coming to you. You know what I'm saying? So
He get the check.
you get
then he bust you down.
You get 1099.
Yeah, yep.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? So that's what made the record Something Got to Give in this biz. That transformed into Roy You Fan.
Okay.
So when I came out with Something Got to Give in this biz, I wanted to inform artists the difference between an artist deal, a production deal, a budget, a recording fund. A lot of people don't know the difference. You know, yeah, I got a deal, yeah, I got a deal. But what kind of deal you have?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might just have a artist in the making deal.
Yeah.
It don't mean that
Artist
you're coming.
development
Yeah,
deal.
you know what I'm saying? They use you to groom another artist. You know, it's like, but you're getting paid though. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people might look right now and say, "Who the fuck is he?" I'm gonna tell y'all one record that I love he did was Soul in the Hole.
Oh yeah, that was a soundtrack.
That was to the soundtrack, and Estelle ended up using that for Thank You. So when you think about the original Estelle record, it's called Soul in the Hole, Timbo,
Shaheen, Killer Sin, Dreddy Kruger.
Yeah.
And shouts to Takita.
ForbesDVD.com